A couple of weeks ago, I took this car to go drifting at Winton. It was all going well until it didn't. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. S15s and all S chassis pretty much have this massive flaw where the wiring harness runs underneath the frame rail here on the driver's side. Now about a year ago, I installed Shockworks coilovers in this car and I tucked the wiring harness on top of the frame rail. Unfortunately, that clearly did nothing because this happened. I thought that was the extent of the issue. It fried a coil pack. But look what happens when I connect the negative strap on the battery to the battery. Normally the parker lights would go on. The AC fan is running. That obviously melted that coil pack over there. And there's a relay clicking noise in the passenger footwell where the ECU is. Not good. Today's job is to fix this thing because at the moment I have a very expensive paperweight and I don't actually know the extent of the damage. Actually had a proper look at how bad the wiring harness is. I do know that it's rubbed through, hence all the weird shit that's happening electrically in this car. And now we're about to find out how bad it is, so let's have a suss. Oh fuck, hold on, let me get a light. Holy shit, that's terrible. Holy shit. That's fucking bad. Wow, have a look at this. Let's have the engineer have a look at how bad this is. Holy crap. It's full flattened it out. It's fully flattened out the wiring harness, like against the body of the car. But as you can see, like I did tuck it on top of the frame rail and I wrapped it in the electrical wire. Unfortunately it's red because that's the only stuff I could get a hold of at the time. It was during lockdown. So I just removed the fender liner because it was doing nothing anyway. Just over there, there's literally nothing left of it. Because the wheel just rubbed through all of it. Basically undo the work that I did like probably about a year ago. So just cut all these zip ties, bring the harness back down. I might even need to take the fender off. I'm not too sure yet. The more I look at it, the fucking worse it gets. Oh my god. Conveniently, it's chopped through the insulation as well. So it's very easy now to get to the wires. It doesn't look too horrible, like it looks worse than it actually is, I think, I hope. It's a learning experience, you know? Nissans, right? Just Nissans. You don't really hear of Toyotas doing shit like this, just Nissans, you know? Gets me thinking, what's the other side like? Does the other side live better, you know? So I've started like separating the wiring on the harness because I'm going to start repairing it pretty soon. I discovered that when one of the previous owners owned this car, they also rubbed through the wiring and just electrical taped it, which is just lovely. This guard's probably gonna have to come off. I have it loose at the moment, but it'll probably have to come off so I can figure out a way to tuck it better. That there is the reason why it rubbed through the wiring. So it's like a right angle piece that comes from the body to the frame rail, and I need to figure out a way to either chop that part or run the wiring harness somehow so it doesn't run along that, because the wheel's just going to keep hitting it and just disintegrating the wiring harness. So, but first things first, the EF is going to drive today, but I need to sort out a small ant infestation in the car. Here's the mechanic as well. Unfortunately, I filmed 3 videos and none of them had sound. I don't know how I keep doing this. That's the main reason why there's been such a massive gap in uploads over the last couple of weeks. Basically, I did a bunch of work to the EF. I finished up the engine. I put together the interior. I had to swap wheels for roadworthy as well from Ollie's ED. So I did get a roadworthy on the car, but this will be the first official drive that I do of the car. So let's get to that. Look how goofy my shifter is. Because when I got this transmission, I didn't get an extension for the shifter. So I'm currently using the short shifter and I've just adapted it to the stock shifter. I mean, the T5 feels pretty mint. It drives pretty well, like, not gonna lie. I'm just surprised that I'm finally driving this thing, because when I first picked this car up, it was the biggest pile of shit. It's still a pile of shit, but it actually drives now and it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Top G water. Sounds good. It just chirped.
Really?
Yeah. Do you feel it? Only happens over bumps. So yeah. I've just noticed, I'm noticing a bit of a driveline vibration in the back. I'm thinking it's the uni joint on the tail shaft, because it's whenever the car squats down and applies like torque, it vibrates. Barely does it in third because it doesn't have enough torque to squat it.
Yeah.
You feel it?
Does it have any grease nipples?
So we made it. I made a discovery though. This thing clearly likes chewing up belts, because this is now the second belt I've put on. Because I put the original one on, the gates one, that it shredded it. Then I put this one on, it shredded this one. I have another one just in case, ready to go, just in case that one snaps. But it looks like it only likes 3/4 of the belt, which is good. So it's a very efficient engine. The timing cover is not sealed up at all, besides the fact that it has sealant everywhere along the timing cover. But we're just going to give this engine a proper clean because it's all filthy and shit. Ollie and I don't like working on dirty engine bays. Ollie's also giving his wheels a clean because of course they're from his car. If you want these stickers, they're available on the Falcon apparel store. I'll link in the description below. Before you had to go to benkyspec.com, which is Rex's store. He just had them up temporarily while I was getting my store up and running. But my store is now live, so please check it out. If you do want a copper sock sticker or any of the other stickers I have on the website, yeah, it'd be greatly appreciated. It means this thing will be turbo soon. Ollie's in charge of cleaning the vehicle. We've selected tire and engine cleaner, which hopefully it doesn't delete my engine, because these car washes are just pure acid. I'm gonna give this thing a an underbody wash because when I'm working underneath it, it changes the tone of the color of my skin. I just become orange because this thing was sitting in a field for so long, and I'm not really a big fan of getting shit in my eyes. So I'm gonna ball out. This hurts. This really hurts. Anyway, 16 buck. Alright. Please drive forward.
Could end up in a pretty wet mess.
Oh god. Alright, come on window. Oh, and the aircon doesn't work, so, and it's quite warm and humid today.
We're gonna be cooking.
We want our money's worth here. Yeah. Oh, the wipers are immaculate.
Either we hydro lock this or we get nice and wet.
Yeah, this is also touchless because we don't want to scratch the paint. This is like a Russian banya. It's so hot in here. Oh, literally like 5 seconds ago the aircon stopped blowing, and this does nothing now. You can just turn it and it just blows on the windscreen. Quick rundown: the aircon doesn't work, the heater doesn't work, it's got cruise control but it doesn't work. What else doesn't work? The oil doesn't, the engine doesn't like oil being in it. It likes to leak it. Oh no! It's coming through. Oh, now it's going to be on my side. I know it leaks somewhere in the back. Oh, this is horrible. All right. Okay. All right. Come on, EF. Don't fail me. Oh, it's coming through. It's on the seat.
Not too bad.
Nah, it's worse on the passenger side for some reason.
I got a mini waterfall for a second there.
Nice. Oh, it's applying some wax for us.
Oh yes.
How lovely.
It's gonna make the paint look mint.
Oh, lovely. That's just what we need in this vehicle.
Your matte red Falcon.
Yeah. It's not matte, it's satin.
Satin.
Yeah, it's satin. So I've decided I'm going to try and sort out the driveline vibration because it's getting quite bad. Ollie and I seem to think that it could be a uni joint because it only does it once the car is applying torque and it's squatting. So we're going to just lift the car in the air, just the back, and we're going to jack up the diff housing, and that'll put the uni at the sort of level that we want. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, time for the big jack.
Round 3.
So we got the diff fully unloaded now, so it's all the way drooping. So we'll just see how it goes. Handbrake. It's on. That's fully, so the car's weight is fully on the truck now. Go fine? I need some of you fellow E-Series owners to tell me what the is going on with this car. I can't make sense of the situation. So pretty much in the previous clip you would have seen this car with the rear jacked up, engine obviously running in gear. I tried to load up the rear diff, I tried to unload it, and the only thing that Ollie and I could find was the fact that the tail shaft is rubbing on the trans tunnel. So what I'm assuming is as the car is squatting and applying power to the ground, the tail shaft is rising with the diff housing and actually just rubbing on the trans tunnel. So people that have lowered E-Series, what do you guys do? I've heard that maybe the rubber bump stop on top of the diff could be the issue. I've been told that maybe I need to change my shocks as well. I have lowering springs and shortened shocks in the back. Other than that, I'm a little bit confused, so some help would be greatly appreciated. As for the reason why this car wasn't starting, so I initially thought that the starter motor was buggered, but the starter motor in fact was not screwed. Pretty much, this engine bay was extremely dirty when I first got it, and a few of the ground points in the engine bay were just covered in dirt and grease. Ground strap for the starter motor was just doing basically nothing. We did a resistance check on it, and we found that it had way too much resistance, and the continuity was very poor. We basically cleaned off all the contacts, and the car started right up, which is excellent. So now I have a working sock, and now it's just some, niggly little issues, This obviously, I'm pretty sure the crank isn't lined up with all the rest of the pulleys, so I might need to get a new crank pulley. But other than that, the car will be registered in the next week, so I'll be able to legally drive it on the road, and I'm keen to do a few things to it. I do apologize for the massive break in uploads. I'm clearly inept when using my camera, filming 3 whole videos without sound, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you want merch, link in the description. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.